in heaven. 6, 5, stay alive. 4, 3. Now you and me. 2, 1. We're going to have fun. Say, let's go. Excalibur. It's about that part. What do you mean? Give and take. Going home. Side zone. Check it out, eh? Live alone. Leather legs. Get in place. What do you get? Say, fat jet. Zoom room. Cosmic zoom. That's up, Jay. It's Sonic Boom. Sonic Warrior. Sonic Warrior.
You are what is near the pen. You got the power to save the land.
Take a little chance. Slip on through. You got to survive no matter what you do. You gotta do for you.
Sonic Warrior. Sonic Warrior. The power is in your mind to save the planet, to conquer Gaia. Sonic Warrior, be decisive time. Sonic Warrior, flavor in your mind. Nothing can survive the way you stay like. 'Cause if we try, you can do anything. Sonic Warrior, always is a chance. Sonic Warrior, never think they can't. Nothing can survive the way you stay like. 'Cause if we try, you can do anything.
Hey, what's up everyone? NerdyTooth here. Welcome back to another video and welcome to the 35th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's now June, so let's just get right into it. I've got a lot of big plans for this whole month. Every Tuesday you guys are going to get a new video starting today. And today it's going to be a little bit more of a chill and relaxing day. We're just going to sit here and I'm going to talk about, my kind of, story with this franchise and, how I, grew up with it and all that kind of stuff and why I'm still kind of playing the games today. Even, through the ups and through the downs, and I won't try to talk about every specific detail, but I will talk about, key points, specific games, some more than others, but it's going to be a bit of a longer video, so what I want you to do, grab a snack, grab a drink, let's get right into it. To really start, let's go all the way back to, let's say 2009, or even earlier. Let's go back to, let's say 2007. It was me, my mom and my dad, my sister at the time, living, young. I was around 7 to 8 years old at the time, and my dad had gotten us a Xbox, an original Xbox. That was my first actual ever console, was an original Xbox. But that's not where the story really starts. Just to give you a little context of where gaming started for me, it was on the original Xbox. A lot of games that me and my sister would play would be a lot of movie tie-in games, like Shrek 2, Finding Nemo, what else was there? Oh, the Cars video game. I played the crap out of the original Cars video game. That was such a good game for, my age at the time, and I remember the soundtrack being amazing. But a few, more years go by, and me and my sister get Nintendo DS's. And one of the biggest things that we would always play on our DS was Mario Kart or New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. We played that a lot. She played a lot of Rhythm Heaven, and I played it every now and then, but it wasn't my kind of thing. But I did like it. But as years kept going by, we finally got a Wii. And, of course, everybody knows one of the biggest games on the Wii at the time was Wii Sports and Mario Kart Wii. And we played the crap out of Mario Kart Wii. We were almost always playing it almost every night. It was our game. It was something that we always did. We always played it together. We had our own save files trying to see who could get through all the Grand Prix fastest. And at the time, she was definitely better than I was. Fast forward to 2010, I believe. Dad comes home with a new Wii game for us. And the only other Wii games that I ever really played besides Mario games was like Mario Galaxy. Again, other maybe like movie tie-in games. I think we had a B-movie video game. I can't remember. I think it was pretty bad if I remember. I didn't really care too much for it. But other than that, Dad came home with a game that, I thought I was really gonna like. But it was an Olympics game, specifically Winter Olympics. And Mario's name was on there, and I was like, oh cool, it's a Mario Olympic game. And then I looked to the other side of the cover, and I see this blue hedgehog. Or just some blue character I didn't know anything about. And then I read the title, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, and I'm like, who's Sonic? And I asked my dad that, and he said he didn't know too much, but he saw that Mario was on there. And we played it a few times. I remember playing a lot of the Mario characters first, but then I clicked on one character.
Here we go!
And everything from that moment changed. I found myself playing all of the Sonic characters that same night. Because at the time, I didn't know who that character was. And I didn't know anything about him. And again, to a 10-year-old version of Zach, something about this was appealing. And I couldn't really explain what it was. Until, you know, I kept playing and playing and playing, and then I started, you know, watching videos, looking up who this guy was, until eventually me and my dad go to Best Buy when they still, you know, held, you know, movies, and they still sell games, I'm pretty sure. I haven't been to one in a minute. But, yeah, we went there, and we were looking at all the games on display, and I saw him, and I was like, Dad, look, there's Sonic, there's 2 Sonic games right there. And we got them. And that is actually what these are right here. Ooh. Not these. These will be a different story. But those 2 games were Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight. Now, looking back on it, these are not very good games. We'll get into that eventually, but that'll be for its own separate video this month. Oh no! My first ever actual Sonic game was Sonic and the Secret Rings. Sonic and the Secret Rings was probably not the best way to start out my my Sonic journey, I guess, because again, those of people who have played the game know that the controls are they take getting used to, but again, motion controls for a Sonic game on the Wii didn't work, and that was the biggest downfall I think that the Storybook series specifically had, was that they were limited being on the Wii, and the controls would just, because they were motion controls, it just didn't work. Black Knight kind of refined it a little bit, but Secret Rings really struggled the most with it, I would say. But years keep going by, and time just keeps going by. Eventually we get our hands on an Xbox 360 with a Kinect. I'm sure you can guess where this story is going to go. Sonic Freeriders. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Freeriders is the actual introduction of Roger Craig Smith as Sonic, not Colors like everyone says it is. I could be wrong on that, and I'll probably fact check myself right here which game came out first, and then that will be the one that was truly the first introduction of the Sonic, Roger Craig Smith as Sonic. But I mean, my Sonic voice I grew up with was definitely Jason Griffith. I remember, you know, playing Secret Rings and Black Knight and watching other people play Sonic Unleashed. I won't really get into like the voices and aspects of that, but I will say I do have a signed autograph by Roger Craig Smith himself hanging up right above my PC setup. My best friend Dylan got me that. I got my hands on the Wii version and the DS version of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. And I remember watching that intro over and over and over again. I love the original Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Not just because, again, it's Sonic and I love everything Sonic, but I also just loved the wide variety of characters. There was characters that wasn't part of the Sonic franchise. It was Sega's almost entire category of characters. I played the DS version a lot, and then when I finally was able to play the Wii version, it was so much nicer because it was technically the HD version, even though the Wii doesn't really do HD all that well. And, you know, time keeps going by, and then and then I remember watching the trailers for a little game called Sonic Generations. I remember the marketing for this was going through the roof. I remember seeing all the TV spots. I remember going into Toys R Us as a kid and seeing all the Jazzwares action figures when those were still being made. Being a Sonic fan when this game was coming out was something else. You couldn't really describe, you know, what it was like being a Sonic fan back in, I think it's 2011, right? After 2011, things just could not stick. We got Sonic Lost World that was trying too hard to be Super Mario Galaxy. We got Sonic Boom, which the show was great, but the games were, well, the games. Not many people really cared for the games, especially Rise of Lyric was a complete failure because they wanted it to be on the Wii U because part of Nintendo and Sega's contract together, having 3 Sonic games on the Wii U. And it really hurt because Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric was not developed to be on the Wii U. It was developed to be on the current consoles at the time, and it didn't work. It wasn't optimized for it. And you know, for a couple of years after 2014, 2015, there wasn't anything. 2016 was the announcements of Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. Now, for those people who wonder, yes, I do like Sonic Mania. I think it is great. I am not the biggest fan of the classic games, besides Sonic 3 Knuckles. Sonic 3 Knuckles is peak Sonic. It is my favorite Sonic game ever made. And now, Sonic Forces is... I remember pre-ordering that, and a few weeks after beating the game, I felt regret after it because I knew it was not good. I knew it was. I tried telling myself it was good because it was Sonic, but no, that's not the case. Yeah, no, Forces was just rushed, overhyped, and overall it didn't live up to the hype that it needed to be. It definitely left a mark on the franchise at the time, and then over time, as just games kept coming out and they kept getting worse and worse and worse, and just the quality was not where it needed to be anymore. Sonic became a laughingstock of gaming. I mean, he was a joke again. Sonic 06 might have ruined the reputation of the character, but Sonic Forces and Sonic Boom destroyed the reputation of the character. And in 2019... in 2018 or whatever, whenever Team Sonic Racing came out, didn't do anything to help. And it's not to say that Team Sonic Racing was bad, it just didn't do anything. It was there and it was gone. People played it for a little bit and then they stopped playing it. There was no life to give to the franchise. And for a while there, I kind of gave up on the franchise. And I just stopped playing games. Maybe I would play, a couple games of Generations again just to really remind myself, why I still loved this franchise. But we finally got the reveal that we were getting 2 new games. One of them was a remaster of Sonic Colors. I remember playing a lot of the original Sonic Colors on the Wii a lot. But it was remastered, and, well, we all know. There's a video on my channel talking about, well, not really talking about it, but showing off Colors Ultimate and a mod that kind of fixes the game. I mean, if you haven't seen the Project Re-Rainbow video, go watch that video. I think it really shows the differences between, what we got and then what could have been. Then we got the announcement of Sonic Frontiers. And I remember that I was not very convinced at first glance. Only because, again, Forces was so bad that it really, really, hurt my trust with Sega and Sonic Team on, what we were showing. And then the IGN gameplay reveal, while cool, again, whoever was playing it probably didn't know what the hell they were doing. But I thought the game at least looked nice. The game came out. And I remember because I posted 2 live streams almost playing the first couple of sections of the game. I never finished it. I wanted to, but I just never got around to it. I mean, I'll tell you right now. I mean, I have a review for Sonic Forces, or not Sonic Forces. I have a review for Sonic Frontiers on the channel. And I think I gave it like an 8.5 or something like that out of 10. And at the time, it was basically, I really enjoyed the open zone stuff. Cyberspace was a little lackluster for the linear levels, but the open zone gameplay and the boss fights that weren't the final boss fight at the time really saved the game for me. And then they announced that they were re-releasing Sonic Generations, and I was like, well, I guess, I mean, that's cool and all. I mean, did it really need a remaster? Not really, in my opinion. But that's when they also announced that Shadow was getting a campaign. I was thinking to myself, we're finally going to get to play as Shadow again. Shadow, obviously, a fan-favorite character in the franchise. Probably, you know, the second most popular character, if not the most popular character in the entirety of the series. And, you know, the game comes out, and Shadow Generations was the best part of it. Sonic Generations is good at all, but there was nothing too different to differentiate it from the original release. Sure, you had the little Chow hunts, the new dialogue, the new writing, but there was still really nothing different compared to the original version of Generations. Some people still prefer the original version of Generations. Me, I could go either or. If I want to play mods, I'll play the original. If I just want a vanilla version of the game, I'll play the remake. More stuff comes out, we get little, you know, hints in there. The movies come out, the movies are amazing in my opinion, especially considering what they could have been. Sonic Racing Crossworlds comes out, and also really solid, actually beating Mario Kart World. Now, as someone who owns a Switch 2 and owns Mario Kart World and Sonic Racing Crossworlds, not on both PC, but on Switch 2 as well, I can definitely tell you that I go back to Sonic Racing Crossworlds way more than I go back to Mario Kart World. And that's someone who started out as a Mario fan. I started out loving Mario. I started out loving Mario Kart Wii. But man, Mario Kart World was just so... It was trying too hard to be something that was groundbreaking, trying to do something so new and so big. But for some reason, it just didn't hold an impact on what it was trying to be. The franchise going on has still been one of those franchises that, you know, it doesn't do a whole lot, but the things that it did for me growing up and, you know, what it kind of helped me through in my own personal life and all that kind of stuff really helped me and made me fall in love with these characters, you know, the shows, the games, the movies, all of it combines into one thing for me. And I'm forever grateful for having that experiences. And, you know, it all started with, you know, a game that in my eyes is amazing, but I know that it's not good. I know that it's not great. But I love Sonic and the Secret Rings. I love the storybook series. I love Sonic Colors. I love everything. Sure, I might have my own complaints. I might have my own inconsistencies with certain things that I like and I dislike. But I know for a fact that I love Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'll continue to love this character for however many years it takes until we get no more games and I'll remember everything. This character has been with me through my ups, my downs, and has really, you know, brought me back to my sense of wonder and my sense of creativity and, you know, making me want to get back into making these videos again. Stuff like this where I'm just sitting down and talking for a little bit. And, you know, you're still going to get all the other same videos that you would normally get from me. It's really, really been an amazing 35 years with this character. And I haven't even been around for 10 of those years, but I hope I can continue to keep going with them. With that being said, I know it's a little early, but happy birthday, Sonic. This one's for you. Well, with that being said, that was the first part of this 5-part series talking about Sonic and the 35th anniversary. Tune in next week, we're going to be playing Sonic and the Secret Rings. It'll also be kind of a bit of a longer video, but you won't hear my voice really at all. It'll be commentary. After that, you'll be getting the Sonic and the Black Knight video going over the game. Once those two videos are finished, on Sonic's birthday, you're getting the Sonic and the Storybook series review. Something I'm working very hard on, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. After that, on the final week of June, you are getting a video that I have been working on for a while now. It is Sonic related, A couple of my friends and I, you know, we got together and we made something a little special. It'll be a pretty funny video, I hope. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those fun things. They're free to do. I would appreciate if you took your time to do it. And well, I guess I'll see you in the next video. Peace.